So I don't have a big deep intro for this video today. Like, that loud intro that I normally have about how you should subscribe and like and follow. I don't have that for this video today. And the reason for that is because this is actually going to be a very bare video from me to you guys. If you are somebody who feels like, you had all these dreams and visions for the previous year, but unfortunately you were not able to achieve them. I'm one of those people, and I thought to myself, for the beginning of our journey this year, even just as me committing to myself and committing to you guys to try and stay consistent with the YouTube videos, I think it's best we start with a bare, honest, authentic video. And this is if you feel like you smashed all your dreams in the previous year, this video is definitely not for you. Trust me, you can just save yourself time and scroll up. This video is meant for people that feel like, I did try the whole vision board thing. I did try the whole having a planner thing, but it just did not work in getting me to where I wanted to be at the end of the year. If that's you, then this is your video. So I'd encourage you to stay onto the video. And if you're discovering Mbali Talks for the first time, trust me, like I said, this is going to turn into an amazing journey for both of us. So I would like to encourage you to actually join the community by hitting that subscribe button. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so very much for putting up with my inconsistency enough for you to be able to come back even on this video. So I'd like to ask that you reward me for all the content that you're going to discover in this video by just hitting the like button. So again, without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into it. This video is a now or never type of video. It's directed to people who feel like, I actually want to win my goals this year. I tried it last year, but it just didn't work. I fell maybe off the wagon. I was not able to stay consistent with my goals and my vision, etc. This video is for you because I want to share with you the tips that even I am going to be applying this year in order for me to win my goals in a way that I was not able to do so in the previous year. Because guys, the honest truth is life got the better of me. My personal life got into the way. So many changes were happening in my life. There were so many moving pieces. And as much as I did try to stay as consistent as possible, I think you guys just realized at some point that it was not happening. However, I want to be positive this year, which is why I'm starting this year with this kind of video and with this kind of energy to say, this is what we can actually do, both you and I as your accountability partner, in order for us to be able to win our goals for 2025. The first point on my list is the fact that we have to admit that there's a problem. And as you guys can tell, I've already admitted that there's a problem on my part because I freely told you guys that I did not smash my goals in the previous year. So if you're somebody who feels like, I actually want to win my 2025 goals, you need to admit that there's a problem. And how do you do that? You do that by looking back at the past maybe 3 years of your life to try and understand what it is exactly that has been keeping you from actually attaining those goals. It could either be yourself and your lack of time management. It could be yourself and your lack of maybe saving money in order for you to start that business or to start that content creating journey. It could be the different activities that you're actually part of that involve friends and family, whereby you find yourself not having enough time for you to lock down onto what you had actually planned for yourself for the year. It could also be the fact that, just like me, you had so many moving pieces in the year, which quite honestly, you have kind of had a 12-month period for you to be able to get through those, so that by now you're able to say, I have gone through this, I am now at this point in my life. Because I'm a big believer of the fact that you can't always be going, guys. You know how people say, yeah, go. You cannot always be going. Because the reality about life is that life does not stop. It will not give you a breather. Life will not say, I'm actually going to stop throwing punches at Mbali just because even last month she had a punch. It won't. But still, I need to admit to myself, just the same way that you do, that you actually have a problem with following maybe your goals or following that planner in order for you to be able to discover, first of all, what that problem is and also how we can actually eliminate that problem. Step number 2 in this process of us being able to win our 2025 goals is for us to eliminate the problem. So we've admitted that the problem actually exists. We have been able to identify what the problem is. Now it's time for us to eliminate it. You cannot, and trust me, I know this, I've practiced this in my life. In fact, I've had to make a couple of changes in my life just to make sure that I don't end up with the same statement. The statement is this: you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. If you've been following me for a couple of years, you will know that I was actually running a clothing company for women called Fashion Couture. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you decide to look at it, I shut down that business in October 2023. And the reason for that is because I felt like it had reached a point in its life where it had actually hit the ceiling of what I had actually wanted to achieve. So at that point, I had two options. Either I was going to take more of my personal money, invest in the business, turn it into a big brand, go and do rental space, hire influencers, etc. Or I was going to save that money, take it into other projects, try out new business ventures that I feel like are actually more profitable than clothing making. And therefore, meaning I would have had to then shut down that clothing brand so that obviously I can redirect the resources. Guess which one I chose? I chose to honestly close down the business because I just didn't see myself taking all the other money that I had actually saved and or made through other business ventures and actually plowing it back into FDC in order for FDC to grow. Because that would have meant I'm taking all the other eggs in my different other baskets and putting them all in one basket. And being a person who has an accounting background and entrepreneurial experience, it just didn't seem like a lucrative thing. So I decided to eliminate the thing that was no longer working in my life, which is basically the fashion business. This is not to say that the fashion business is not a lucrative business, but I think it works for someone who feels like that's the only thing that you're willing to concentrate on. And for me, as you guys know, I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm always doing many other different things, some of which I share on Mbali Talks so that you guys can also try them out. So I was not willing to continue doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. And therefore, I eliminated that problem. That's the same advice that I'm giving to you. Once you've admitted that there's a problem, once you've evaluated what the problem is, whether that problem is the fact that you're spending too much money on takeaway, if maybe one of your goals is to have financial freedom at the end of the year, or your discovery is the fact that maybe you're not walking enough steps in a day because your goals include taking care of your health, for example, or it's the fact that you're always there for everybody. You're attending every baby shower, every wedding, every birthday, and therefore you are bleeding money. Identify what those problems are, like we did in point 1, and as point 2, eliminate them so that you can do things differently in this year in order for you to be able to win your 2025 goal. Number 3, which is easily one of my absolute favorite ways in order for me to be able to get back on track with the goals that I have for myself, is for us to set a plan. So you have identified the problem, you have identified where the leak is, you have also decided to eliminate the problem by taking a few steps to change your lifestyle. Now it's time for you to set a plan for the direction that you actually now want your life to take. Trust me guys, you can have all the visions and the dreams in your mind, but without a proper plan on an almost everyday basis, you will fall off track. You will not have direction, you will lose focus. And one of the worst things that I've often seen out of people is the fact that you're going to find yourself lurching onto other people's plans. You know how there's always something trending or a business venture that's trending, something that you had not even put down on your vision board and or on your plan, but because now you're not following that plan, you're not reading up on it every day, you're not updating it every other second day, it's easy for you to then fall onto the different trends, therefore of railing you of the goals that you'd actually set for yourself at the beginning of the year. And again, ensuring that you do not win your 2025 goals. And that's not what this video is about, right? Your plan should easily involve things like dates as well as timelines of when you want to achieve certain things. I actually did a video the other day on TikTok where I was sharing a couple of points that can actually help you when it comes to this plan setting. One of the most important goals that I actually shared in that video is for you to actually have a daily planner. This is a daily planner that I also bought at the beginning of the year in order for me to try and be consistent with my goals. What I like about my daily planner is the fact that it has the different months of the year that actually guides you to say this is what you wanted to achieve in the first 3 months of the year, so that you can go back and be accountable for that. Not only that, the planner actually also has all these sections that enable you to be able to write your goals, to write your to-do list. It even has that literally on a daily basis. I just want to show you guys from my January. From the beginning of the page, you have all the plans that you think you have for the month, the goals that you want to achieve, possibly how you're going to achieve that, what the priorities are, etc. And then on a daily basis, you have this where you're actually able to write your to-do list or your aspirations for your day. And I'll be honest with you guys, sometimes I feel like I have a lot that I've written in a day, and honestly, I will not achieve all of it on a bad day. But on a good day, let's say maybe I've written down 5 of those things. If I am consistent with waking up every day, getting into my study, looking at what is written to be planned for the day, I easily find myself at least being able to do 3 or 4 out of the things that I have on a daily basis. But if I did not have that plan, or I didn't have that daily planner and or the timelines in which I want to achieve those things, it becomes very difficult for you to track your progress and or to even see if you're still in line with the goals that you would have set at the end of the year. So again, I reiterate, the most important point, if you're taking nothing else away from this video, the most important point for you to be able to win your 2025 goals is for you to have a plan. The fourth way in which we can win our 2025 goals is just to start. Start afraid, start with no money, start with where you're staying. Some people feel like if I'm going to be a content creator, I need to have a house that is aesthetically pleasing. Listen, you don't. You just have to start, because quite honestly, all the other people, including people like myself that are on YouTube, people that have even been on YouTube for the past 20 years, when you go back to their old beginner videos, you're going to realize that their setups were totally lame. They were totally different. They were totally boring, but they didn't mind because their most important thing was for them to just start. One of the biggest things that I found people are afraid of when I consult with them on a one-on-one basis with regards to starting their own side hustles is that they are too much into their minds on what other people's opinions are going to be about them just because they've decided to take this journey. Guys, when you're trying to put your life together, when you're trying to achieve financial freedom, when you're trying to lose weight so that you can be your ideal weight, when you're trying to start a side hustle, when you're trying to start being a content creator, the people that have a lot of opinions, especially those that are negative, are nothing but people that are jealous of you. They are people that are jealous because they cannot find the same strength inside themselves for themselves to pick themselves and actually start their own journeys. So they want you to stay here on the ground or underground. They want you to stay underground with them and do absolutely nothing. They want you and them to continue being on the same wavelength just because they are still a bit lazy and or afraid or maybe even anxious to start their own journeys. So they keep dragging you down. I found that that's the biggest limiting thing for people to start. When people talk about the fear of starting, it's not the fear of starting because they're going to fail. It's the fear of starting because of what will other people say? What will my family say? What will my friends say? Will my friends support my business? Trust me, quite honestly, some of your biggest supporters can be actual strangers. And in fact, you can easily create your own community through your entrepreneurial journey, through your journey as a content creator, around your brand, around the products that you're actually advertising, around the product that you're actually selling, that are going to support your journey. But those people and that community and that tribe will not find you until the day you actually start. My fifth and final point of how we're actually going to win our goals this year is something that I plan to practice on myself as well. This is for you to be kind to yourself. If you're serious about following the past 4 steps that I've actually pointed out in this video, most likely you're going to have a lot of good days on your journey to winning your goals for the year. But quite honestly, life does happen to all of us the same way that it happened to me last year, where I was not able to achieve half of the goals that I wanted to achieve. However, you will need to have enough strength inside of yourself to say, you know what, on the days where things did not go according to your plan, it's absolutely okay. Also, you will need to understand that part of your journey to achieving your goals is to allowing yourself time to rest, reboot, and rewind, because you cannot pour out of an empty cup. So if all you're doing is trying to stay busy because you want to achieve your goals, oh my goodness, you will tire out. You will be exhausted. You will be partly depressed. So you need to be able to find a bit of a balance between obviously achieving your goals, putting in the work, following your plan, setting your plan in motion, etc. And also trying to balance your normal everyday life of doing activities and things that actually fuel back your happiness inside of yourself so that you can have the strength to do these other things. So the best thing that you can do is to be kind to yourself and just also try to stay consistent to the journey and the decisions that you'd have made and the plan and the goals that you'd have planned for yourself in this year. That's all the advice that I have for you on this video today. If you've lasted until the end of the video, then please do reward me by just hitting the like button so that I know that this video is actually valuable. Not only that, it will help the YouTube algorithm so that more people just like you and I going through the same thing that we've spoken about in this video can actually find this video. And if you haven't already, don't be shy, just hit the subscribe button. I promise you, it's absolutely free and you're going to be able to join the Mbali Talks community. And also remember to set your notification bell on, guys, so that you never miss out on any of the content that happens here on Mbali Talks. Otherwise, I wish you guys all the best and I'm going to see you in the next Mbali Talks video. Cheers.